Hello students, today we are going to study Old Man at the Bridge. So Old Man at the Bridge is written by Ernest Miller Hemingway, who is an American novelist, a short story writer and a journalist. So his writing was a great influence in the 20th century fiction, and his shortest writing is The Old Man at the Bridge, which we are going to study. And this is an incident that took place on the Easter Sunday stopover at the Ebro River, where Hemingway was an army scout who was covering the Spanish Civil War. So the Old Man at the Bridge, it demonstrates the power of narrative art. The author takes the ordinary situation and by the art of storytelling he converts it into a tragic war. And the old man symbolizes the peoples who face the horror of the war and are displaced, are feel lonely and are affected physically, mentally and psychologically due to the war. And let's study the chapter. The Old Man at the Bridge. An old man with steel rimmed spectacles and very dusty clothes sat by the side of the road. There was a pontoon bridge across the river, and carts, trucks, and men and women and children were crossing it. The mule-drawn carts staggered up the steep bank from the bridge, with soldiers helped pushing against the spoke of the wheels. The trucks ground up and away, heading out of it all, and the peasants plodded along in ankle-deep dust. But the old man sat there without moving. So, as I was telling you, the trucks ground up and away, heading out of all, and peasants plodded along in the ankle-deep dust. But the old man sat there without moving. He was too tired to go any further. So the story, which begins with chance of the encounter. So there is a chance of encounter between the young soldier, who is the narrator, and the old man who is wearing the steel-rimmed spectacles, who is sitting by the side of a road of a pontoon bridge. So what is a pontoon bridge? A pontoon bridge is a bridge which is made up of large hollow containers that is filled with air, and steel remains. The spectacles are having frames of steels. Okay. So the young soldier was on a mission to cross the bridge and find out how far the enemy had advanced. And when the young soldier crossed the bridge first, towards the enemy, he found an old man. When he came back, then also he found the old man sitting there still. So then aroused his curiosity. He told why he was sitting there. Let me ask him. So he asked him. So the old man told. So let us read further. So as it is given in the first paragraph, that old man was sitting, there was a pontoon bridge, many men, women, children were crossing it, there were mule-drawn carts staggered up, steep bank, the trucks rounded up, and the peasants were plodding. Peasants were plodding means they were walking slowly with heavy steps, with ankle-deep dust, but there was an old man who was sitting. It was my business to cross the bridge, explore the bridgehead beyond, and find out to what point the enemy had advanced. I did this and returned over the bridge. There were so many carts and very few people on foot, but the old man was still there. So as I told you, the business of the narrator was to cross the bridge and see how far the enemy had advanced. And when he returned back, he saw the old man was still there. Then he asked him, "Where do you come from?" I asked him. "From San Carlos," he said and smiled. That was his native town, and so it gave him pleasure to mention it, and he smiled. "I was taking care of animals," he said. He explained. "Oh," I said, not quite understanding. "Yes," he said. "I stayed, you see, taking care of the animals. I was the last one to leave the town of San Carlos." He did not look like a shepherd or a herdsman, and I looked at his black dusty clothes and grey dusty face with his steel-rimmed spectacles and asked him what animals were they. He told various animals and shook his head, and I had to leave them. So, further, the narrator ask about him, where do you come from? So he tells that he has come from San Carlos, and he is 76 years old, and he was forced to leave his hometown of San Carlos because of the artillery fire by the enemy, and he had already walked 12 kilometers and cannot move too further because he was too tired. And he told that he was the last person, the old man was the last person to leave the town San Carlos, because he was anxious for the safety of his animals. He was taking care of them. The old man then said, the old man then said, so the narrator saw the old man, and he didn't look like a herdsman or a shepherd, and he looked at his black dusty clothes and grey dusty face and his steel rimmed spectacles. So as he asked various animals, so he told that then when the narrator was asking questions, and when was conversation they were going on, but the narrator, I was watching the bridge and the African looking country of the Ebro Delta and wondering how long it would be before we would see the enemy, and listening all the while for the first noises that would signal that ever mysterious events called contact. And the old man still sat there. So when the narrator was in a conversation with the old man, he was watching the bridge that was looking like an African looking country. African looking country is referred here because it was very, in times of war, it is very dusty and everything is grey and dusty. So Africans are like that. So it is referring to referring to African looking country. And then the narrator asked him that what animals were there. I asked. There were three animals altogether, he explained. There were two goats, a cat, there were four pairs of pigeons. And you had to leave them? I asked. Yes, because of the artillery. The captain told me to go because of the artillery. So the narrator asked him that don't you have so the narrator asked him what animals were there. He told that there were two goats, a cat, and four pairs of pigeons. And he asked, "Are you to leave them?" Yes, I have to leave them. And why? Then he told that because of the artillery. And then he told that you have no family. The narrator asked, "And you have no family?" "And you have no family?" I asked, watching the far end of the bridge where a few last carts were hurrying down the slope of the bank. "No," he said, "only the animals." I stated, "The cat, of course, will be all right. A cat can look out for itself, but I cannot think what will become of the others." So the old man was unconcerned for his threat, was unconcerned about the threat of his own life, and he was expressing his concern for the safety of his animal. And the narrator asked that you have no family. When he was asking, he was looking the far end of the bridge where there were only few carts hurrying down the slope of the bank. The old man said, "No, only the animals are my family." The old man admitted that there is no need to worry about the cat because a cat can look after himself. But what about the other animals? So the narrator asked that what politics have you? I asked. "I am without politics," he said. "I'm 76 years old and have come 12 kilometers now. I think I can't go any further. This is not a good place to stop," I said. "If you can make it, there are trucks up the road where it forks for Tortosa. I will wait for a while," he said, "and then I will go." "Where do the trucks go?" "Towards Basilino." I told him, I know no one in that direction, but thank you very much, thank you very much." So the old man told that I am without politics, and I'm 76 years old, and I was forced to leave my hometown, and I have walked 12 kilometers and I'm very tired. Then the narrator tells that this is not a good place to stop. You can just walk till uh, cross the bridge and take the trucks go on the trucks that go Fox for Tortosa. So he told, "I will wait." The old man told, "I will wait here and then I will go." So then he asked, "Where did the trucks go?" Then the narrator tells that towards Basilino. So the old man tells that I don't know anyone in that direction, but he thanks the narrator. He thanks the narrator and then again expresses his concern and faith for his animals that he has left behind. So the narrator also reassures that the animals would be fine. He looked me at he looked at me very blankly and tiredly, then said, having to share his worry with someone, "The cat will be all right, I'm sure. There is no need to be unquiet about the cat. But what about the others? Now, what do you think about the others?" Why, they all will probably come through it all right." "You think so? Why not?" I said, watching the far bank where there was no carts now. So he looked, the old man looked at the narrator very blankly and tiredly and tell that having someone to share my worry, I feel very nice, and the cat can be all right, but what about the others? So the narrator told, yeah, they will all be right. You are. Then the old man said, yeah, you think so? So why not? Then he was watching the far bank where there were no cars. So the old man told that what the animals will do without me, because I have to leave because of the artillery, as it is written. But what will they do under the artillery when I was told to leave because of the artillery? Did you leave the dove cage unlocked? I asked. Yes. Then they will fly. Yes, certainly they will fly. But others, it's not better to think about the others, he said. So the narrator asked that, did you leave the dove cage open? Then the old man told, yes. So they will fly. The narrator told, old man told, yes, they will fly, but what about the others? So narrator told that it's better not to think about the others. So the narrator told that, if you are rested, I would go. I urged, get up and try to walk now. Thank you, he said, and got to his feet, swayed from side to side, and then sat down backwards in the dust. I was taking care of the animals, he said dully, but no longer to me. I was only taking care of the animals. So the narrator told, if you are rested, and I urge you, I request you, please get up and try to walk now. But the old man tries and thanks him and got to his feet, and he swayed side to side but sat down backwards in the sank back to the ground. He sank back to the ground, and he told that I was taking care of the animals in San Carlos, and I was only taking care of the animals, but no longer. I was only taking care of the animals. So there was nothing to do about him. It was an Easter Sunday, and the faces were advancing towards the Ebro. It was a grey, overcast day with a low ceiling. So the planes were not up. The fact the cats know how to look after themselves was all the good luck that the old man would ever have. So the narrator, as I told, the narrator told the old man to get up and walk, but the old man tired to get up and walk, but he was too weak and tired, and he sank back to the ground. So the narrator thought that the old man's only luck was the cats can look after themselves, and the day was an overcast day, and the faces were advancing toward the bridge, didn't be able to launch the planes, and it was an Easter Sunday, an overcast day with low ceiling. So if you understood this chapter, please like this video, and if you didn't understand this chapter, please redo see this video and like this video, share this video, and subscribe to my channel, and I will bring a steady video once in a week. Till then, take care and bye bye.